Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to a wonderful Friday Eve show. You only see one box right now. That's okay, because I'll tell you a story about that later, but that's all right. It's Friday Eve. I'm gonna try to do this my best impression that I can. Tomorrow morning in the lunchroom, when you got Carol from accounting heating up a casserole from that she made on Sunday that's stinking up the break room, and she said, "Hey, what did you guys do last night?" And everybody kind of looked at her and, hey, don't heat that up. And then Bill from accounts payable, it's like, "Oh, I watched this great podcast last night." And everybody's waiting with bated breath, and they're like, "What did you watch? What did you watch?" And he goes, "The Thursday night Throwdown." Yeah, baby. That's my best Midnight Rider impression. I mean, he's not here. He's running behind, but he will be here later as well as the boss BJ. They got more important things to take care of when it comes to the big job and family. Those things are more important. But I am the big guy KG, and I am your host for the night. We will have hockey talk with none other than Matty Ice. We even, as you can see in the graphic below me, we're going to be talking about the ponies. Coach Devon is going to come in and give us a preview of the Kentucky Derby. Now, I had to tell the fellas, as y'all don't understand how happy this makes me, because around this time of year, I'm an old, Team 980 guy. So this is early 2000s. Coach John Thompson on his show would always have Smoking Joe McKay come in and talk about horse racing. And he would always bring good food. And I told Coach Devon, I said, that's the only thing you missed because it was such short notice. But if you could, I'd get you in here, man. We be in the studio. We'd be eating good in between commercial breaks and everything. Maddie coming in talking about hockey. He's filling in Smoking Owl Coke and Roll. So I will be playing Joe the Fan on those two. We got some NBA playoff updates, which has a question of the night attached to it. And I guess it's a playoff question, period. As well as the Nats and continuing to win on the road. They say home cooking is good, but the Nats don't seem to like home cooking too well. It seems like they like that food out there on the road. I guess they must have found them some nice spots to eat while they're out there on the road. So we got a show chock full of goodness tonight. Let me say this before we get started, before Maddie jumps in. To those that don't know, we started this journey in 2017. And to be at the point where we are now, where we're able to have other hosts that can talk things that we're not well versed in. We always wanted to talk hockey, but didn't know anybody to talk hockey. We wanted to talk baseball, didn't know anybody to talk baseball. We talk basketball and football. We might touch a little baseball. But now we got all the experts, man. We got everything. Anything you need, we got it right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. I was getting ready to sing that too, but I was like, let me chill. So we are your doctors when you need. Have some Coke, have some weed. So we got everything you need right here in this home away from home. That is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. So from 2017 to infinity. And I told you that he was going to come in. And I hope I made him proud with the introduction, because I was talking about Carol from accounts payable. From accounting and the guy from accounts payable telling Carol don't heat up that old casserole because you're gonna stink up the break room. I hope I did you proud on that.
Yeah, I gave you a if this was like, oh, say can you sing, I would have given you an 8 or a 9 on that Thursday. You held it Thursday. The storytelling was okay. Could have been better. Could have been crisper and cleaner, but overall, if the point scale is a 20, you got like a 17 out of 20.
See, if this is the rap game, I'm not a freestyler. I'm more of a sit in the studio, hit a beat and write. You know, like if I got Ninth Wonder and Jean Grey working the board, I can sit there and I can rock to the beat, and I'm like, all right, I got my song. I can't freestyle like you do, man. You riff like the best of them. So
I appreciate that, man. Checks in the mail. Checks in the mail. But don't cash it till next Thursday. Don't cash it next Thursday.
Well, so let's get this started off right. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Chilling, man. I was going when I saw you by yourself. I decided to go ahead and tap the arm and come out of the bullpen. I just didn't have my music set up. I would have set it up like I was a closer, not Mariano Rivera, one of them new guys like Duran. Since I got that salsa beat anyway on one of my videos, I could claim into that.
Wouldn't have been a bad idea. I got questions. While we waiting on Maddie, let's talk about the Nats while we wait on Maddie. Nats don't need no home cooking. They are tied with the Yankees for best road record, and that's saying something because the Yankees on the road are 12-6. They're 8-5 at home, and they're 20-11 overall. The Nats, however, are 12-7 on the road and 3-10 at home, and they're 15-17, which is not bad. 2 games under 500, not totally bad. 32 games in, but what is it about Nats Park that they can't get nothing done?
I don't know, and I don't care right now. As long as they winning on the road, it don't matter because their road schedule was brutal. They've had the Cubs. They've had a bunch of teams come. They had to go through to get to this point. So, and there wasn't any slouches. So, I mean, for them to win 12 and for them to do it the way they've done it, essentially 2 nights out of the week, their starters, Latner and what is it? Miles Mikolas. Those 2 guys are just pretty much inefficient. They have, I think Littner has a 7.85 ERA. Miles has a 5.8 or something in that neighborhood. So basically 2 nights out of the week, or 2 nights out of the 5 nights, they're getting absolutely nothing from their starter. So for them to have this record and to be in this place and to find ways to win, even with those guys giving up the farm, it's been impressive. It's been really impressive. They have a knack for staying on the baseball, hitting to where they ain't, and getting people into deep counts and looking for their pitch. I mean, that's the biggest difference. And then today, you got 2 stellar plays in the outfield for James Wood. One where he had to sky for a rebound and take Juan Soto's home run away. And then the other one was a diving catch down the line. So, and the score was 5-4. That's all you need to know. And then Abrams hits a shot in the 8th inning to give them the lead. So, I mean, they're doing all the little things to win ball games or get themselves a chance.
And joining us as pretty much the third man of the New World Order is the boss BJ. Who's the third man?
Evening, gentlemen. How y'all feeling, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm good, man. I see the jet came and picked up the Midnight Rider.
I wasn't gonna leave him behind. So you talked about today. They beat the Mets today 5-4. I mean, the key to winning the game like this is you got to score more runs than the other team. I mean, that's right. the key to the game. If you score more runs, you're guaranteed to win. And I don't know. I mean, looking at this, if they can put it together at home and win, it's the same way on the road, but they can kind of get it together on. I mean, the way they play on the road, they can play like that, but do something a little bit better and become over 500 at home.
Mm-hmm.
We might be talking about a deep postseason run. And when I say deep, I'm talking NLCS. And I know I'm putting the cart before the horse, but just let me dream a little bit.
I mean, you all putting the cart way in front of the horse because we haven't even gotten to May yet. So this is one of them situations where you just gotta take it each month at a time. I mean, think about this: at some point in the next couple of weeks, this team back in 19 was like 19-31, and they turned it around. There's other teams that have been stellar at this point, and then turn around and not make the playoffs. Like a team like the Mets, I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, where he had the lead and Atlanta walked them down. So, like, this right here is too early, but you gotta like the results. They're doing with a little something that John Thompson used to always talk about, harvesting nuts. That's what they're doing.
That's funny. If we had to put a counter up for that for this show, that's already 2 for the counter for mentioning John Thompson. That's already 2. Real quick, Matt. Anthony said the Mets need to trade Frankie at some point because I keep on seeing report that there's issues in the locker room that are very deep and something that might have to do with his leadership style.
Talking about Lindor? I think that's what he's talking about. Lindor has been a problem for a while now. But you're paying him almost $300 million. So I don't know what you want from him on that. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem to move that contract because it ain't many teams that can take on that type of deal.
It's always somebody.
I knew you was gonna say that. That's why I just laid it out there for you.
It's all. Well, I've been saying it since we started. It's always a taker. It's just one of them backdoor deals, like what you gonna do for me later type thing.
Well, I mean, you the same dude that beat me down. I'm talking about he took a baseball bat Midnight Rider.
Oh, what did I do? Hold on a second. Hold on. No, hold on.
He took a baseball bat and snuck me over the head.
Nah.
Somebody's going to take John Wall's contract. I'm like, B, he got a trade kicker. Nobody's going to take that because of this trade clause and that trade clause. I'm reading the whole contract. Somebody's going to take it.
What was the contract before that? I said that somebody was going to take it.
No, it was John Wall first, and then it was Bill contract. And I was telling you, nobody's going to take that contract. Somebody took both of them.
No, it was before that. The Otto Porter.
Otto Porter. Yes. Otto Porter was the first.
There you go. Let's pin this and see. Oh, he was there. When Matty hops on, let's pin this and then let him get his thing going, and then we hop back in this conversation when he finishes up.
Well, let's go ahead and take a break. Let Matty get set up because I got a little something special loaded up for you guys tonight. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
And ladies and gentlemen, the budget for 2026 went to that commercial. And we sign off for the rest of the
year. We are joined by the host of Drive Time, which can be seen here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network every Monday at 5. None other than the talented, the wonderful Matty Ice.
Matty.
I don't know about all that, but I'll take it. I was trying to log in from the computer, and of course, I was having issues. So here we are. We'll just do it. We'll do it old school way.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, I saw you come up with a blank screen. I was like, all right, I don't know if you're ready. If you're doing makeup, maybe he's got to do his hair. I don't know what's going on.
It kept spinning us, so it wasn't connecting for some reason on my laptop. I had that happen the last few times. I don't know why, but anyway, we're here on the phone. We'll make it work.
All right, cool.
Man,
NHL playoffs.
4 wide. This is great. Look at us.
It's always good. It's always good 4 wide.
I know. All right. What do you guys want me to talk about? I don't know.
Well,
go ahead.
Nah, you do it. You do it. Well, I'm jumping the gun.
I mean, I'm a little tongue tied here because I misspoke in the chat because I swear I thought the Penguins forced the game 7, but I misspoke. And I was like, if it happens, it's gonna be awesome. But the Flyers take out the Penguins in 6. Was there any chance the Penguins could have came back and at least took it to 7?
Well, sure. I mean, that game last night, they lost it 1-0 in overtime. It was kind of a weird game. The first 2 periods were really slow compared to the rest of the series. I think both teams were kind of playing really tentative, especially in a 0-0 game. No one wanted to make the mistake. Then in the third period, both teams started having some chances. Both teams had some glorious chances early on in overtime. But, finally Philly gets of course, Zegras had gone in on a little mini break, and a nice little save was made by the Pittsburgh goalie. And then, of course, when they win the faceoff, shot back from the point, and that's the one that somehow goes in the net. So, Philly wins it on their home ice 1-0 for the final score of that game. So they win it in 6. But yeah, I mean, that if Pittsburgh wins that game, you get to game 7 back in their home arena, all bets are off, I think, at that point in time. So they definitely could have won it if it would have gotten to 7, I think, but they just couldn't. They could not solve Vladar last night. He was really, really good for Philly. I mean, he's honestly the reason why Philly won that series.
So I heard Anthony Mantha couldn't hit the ocean from the beachfront. Is that true?
Yeah, there was one. He had a wide open net and missed it. Where we got him out of position, just flat out missed it. So, or else we are in game 7. So but both teams had some really, really weird good chances that they couldn't capitalize on. I mean, there's a couple that are right at the goal line that just didn't go in somehow. Where everyone's hacking and whacking at it, but does not go in the net. So like I said, the first 2 periods, there really wasn't much for either team. And then the third period, there started to be some really, really good chances on both sides. So, but either way, Philly moves on. They get Carolina, who swept Ottawa. So that's the only series right now for round 2 that we know for sure is Carolina and Philly. No idea what day it starts yet. My gut will be probably Monday, but we'll see.
Go ahead, B.
I was just going to ask on an update on the Buffalo-Boston series.
Yes, that one's 3-2 Buffalo. Buffalo had a chance to win it on home ice, but they could not do it. Hold on. We have a Minnesota goal against Dallas just now. So Minnesota is 1-0, and they have a chance to win the series tonight if they win this game. So Minnesota up 1-0 on Dallas on a goal. Live update for you there. But back to Buffalo, Boston. Buffalo had a chance to win it on home ice. They lose that game in overtime, so it's one of those ones where again an overtime winner wins it. They switched goalies after game 2, and Alex Lyon's been really good in goal for Buffalo. Jeremy Swayman finally played like Jeremy Swayman, who is the Vezina Trophy candidate for best goalie for the year in that game 5. So it goes back to Boston now, but Buffalo's up 3-2. I still like their chances to win one of these 2. That's all I got to do. They just got to win one of these 2, and then they're through. So I like their chances. I think they'll do it. It might go to 7, but I think they'll win it on home ice if it goes there.
Who's the better team out of the 2? If Boston gets the game 6 at home, is Buffalo strong enough at home to kill that momentum that Boston's going to come in with?
Point wise, Buffalo's the better team, but I think what you have is Boston is a veteran team. Like they've got guys that have all been there before. For Buffalo, this is still their first time. So you're worried if you're a Sabres fan is can they get over that hump like Philly did last night? For the Flyers, a lot of those players, it was their first time. They got up 3-0, and you could kind of tell the pressure of winning. The hardest game to win, especially in the NHL playoffs, is Game 4 of that series. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Buffalo just because Boston's been there before. They're not going to panic, but they definitely have the horses to do it. And so I like their chances, especially all they need is if they can get that first goal for Buffalo. They seem to be a team that relaxes and plays better with the lead than chasing a game. But I mean that's most teams in the NHL.
And that's my concern. Buffalo kind of being a new kid on the block, and Buffalo not having that experience. It's like when you get that momentum going, I think Buffalo coming out going to Boston, they got to come out striking, man. They got to try to finish them off there and not have that Game 7 in Buffalo, even though you're home. Like you said, Boston's the vets in that, so that kind of leans into their experience.
Yep, and I think that's where them going to the veteran goalie with Alex Lyon, who's been around. He's got a 1.18 goals against average right now for these playoffs. So, he'll keep them in it no matter what. I like their chances. Like I said, maybe not Game 6, but I think they'll still come home and win it. In Game 7, they've got enough talent to do it. But, again, you get to Game 7, it's the roll of the dice.
Absolutely. KG, you got something? Midnight Rider?
Anthony does. Anthony wants to know if you're going to do a reverse mock for the NHL draft coming up in a month and a half.
I don't do the reverse mock. That is the property of Midnight Rider. I will do we'll probably do. I don't know if we'll do a full on mock draft like a people's mock draft. Probably will show I'll pull together like a few of the quote unquote NHL experts of the first round once we know exactly who's going to be drafting where. So yeah, we'll cover the NHL draft like we did last year. Once we get to that point for sure on Drive Time.
All right. And he says Skinner has the same issue that Bob has, where if you hit him over the right shoulder underneath the bar, you can beat him every time.
Well, and that's why they took Skinner out, right? They went to Arthur Slovos after that Game 3. I mean, Slovos is who won the 2 games for Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, this is what Skinner in the playoffs was always same in Pittsburgh as it was in Edmonton, just not consistent. And that's probably honestly why they lost that series is that they probably should have pulled the trigger and gone to Slovos sooner than after Game 3. But, who knows? Maybe if they do it after the first 2 games, maybe they're still playing. I don't know, because Slovos has been great. Like he had a 1.52 and he had a 939 save percentage. Like that'll get it done. That will work in the playoff.
Well, let's close it out with the double overtime from last night. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, a crazy game too. Like that probably. I tried to stay up for most of it, and I fell asleep during a lot of that game. I was in and out of it, unfortunately. I used to have the power where I could just wake up during overtimes, and that did not happen last night. But Vegas comes out on top 5-4. The funny thing with this, the last 3 games have all been 5-4 games. So you're getting your scoring in that series. Vegas takes the 3-2 lead over Utah. Utah is giving them everything that they can handle. Vegas scored first, then Utah comes back, and then it's a 2-1 game. And then Utah takes a 3-2 lead. Vegas comes back and ties it, and then Utah takes a 4-3 lead. Vegas gets the last goal with a minute left, and then they get the winner in double overtime, shorthanded nonetheless. So just crazy fun for sure in that one. So their game is tomorrow night as well. That will be Game 6 back in Utah. So and Utah's played pretty well there, but they need to get the push going a little bit. But I like the chances.
All right, let's speed round this. What we got coming up tonight?
So right now tonight you got Minnesota and Dallas. They are playing right now. The series has been great, tight every game. It is 1-0 still Minnesota. If they win tonight, it is over. So we'll see how that one goes. This series has just been great. And then the other one tonight is Edmonton at Anaheim. Anaheim is a surprise with the team up 3-2. But Edmonton's been here before. They were down 3-1 in the first round the last 2 years to LA and came back and won the series, and they dominated Game 5. But that was on home ice. Now it goes back to Anaheim. We'll see how it goes tonight. So those are the two that are tonight.
You mentioned in the chat you had stat force.
Yeah, so this is how crazy this year's playoffs have been, because we're up to probably now about combined I think 30-40 games combined. 92% of the games have been either tied or a 1-goal difference for 92% of the time played. Like, that's how good these playoffs have been. Like, you just have not had many blowouts. We have not had even many 2-goal leads. Like, it's just been really, really good. And the other great news for the NHL is the ratings. You know, they had a good first weekend. The ratings came out again for the game. The Philly Pittsburgh game last night was the highest rated first round game in 10 years. So it's a good thing for the NHL. They're getting ratings. These games have been close. I think that's helpful. I think it probably also helps that the games are on ESPN and TNT, and you don't have to try to find it somewhere on Amazon or wherever the hell the NBA playoffs first round has been on this year. So yep. I think the NHL is taking full advantage of people maybe not finding the NBA playoffs quite as easily. And also the Olympic bump. You know, the Olympic bump is a true thing, and we're seeing it in full action. And it doesn't hurt that every game is being competitive going late into the third period, and it's just close.
Go ahead, KG.
Nah, I like that what Maddie said, because that's the truth. I can find the NHL on Peacock, and you know, it's just the thing with the NHL. You got to get up in the morning. The game to win the double and triple overtime. They staying up with the NHL, but it's easy to find. I agree with that, and I think that has a reason. That's the reason for the spike, as well as, like you said, the Olympics. But it's just good playoff hockey. Like, it's got a good feel to it. Like, you know, it's playoff hockey. Yeah, and I'm trying my best so I can be knowledgeable. I know I'm not. I'm in kindergarten. I know you got a PhD, man. So I'm trying here.
You're doing good. You're doing good. We're getting you there. Now, you know, I had to watch my anthem tonight too, which was an okay anthem. I gave it a 42 for the guy from Minnesota. So last night in Tampa, we had the worst Canadian score ever, and since the Four Nations. This lady was brutal. She only got a 29. It was pitchy and slow and just bad. But save that for Monday.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, KG, you want to finish out the Q and Anthony?
I got you. Anthony says, for me, points don't mean crap in the playoffs. Boston has playoff experience on their roster.
Yeah, I mean, they do that. They've got the experience between them and Buffalo. That was my worry going into this series, that if Boston wins it, it's going to be because of their playoff experience. So does that experience get them over the top? I mean, we've seen Buffalo, you know, they dominated Boston in Game 4. They ran Boston out of their own arena. So I don't think Buffalo is going to be intimidated going into Boston tomorrow night. That's not the worry. It's just, you know, it is going to be that. I think too, if Boston scores, it's all going to be about the first goal tomorrow. If Buffalo scores first, I think they win that game. If Boston scores first, I think it goes to Game 7, because then, you know, Buffalo and Philly are both very similar teams in that they get the lead. They're hard to give up the lead against. But if they get behind, they also have a hard time, you know, getting that to get it. Although they did it in Game 1, they were down 2-0 and came back and won that game. So, you know, they have shown the ability to do that.
All right. Anthony said Buffalo was a young team that is playing with house money, because not everybody expected them to be this good this fast.
I would say everywhere else, yes, but not in Buffalo. They're not playing with house money in Buffalo. I think you can see how they're already reacting when they lost the last game. Like the Buffalonians are expecting them to win that series. So yes, everywhere, but I'm not sure the team feels that. You know, they feel you're up 3-2 in a series, you're up 3-1 in a series, you're expected to win that series. So there's pressure on them now. They're no longer playing. Same thing with Philly. Yes, Philly is playing with house money against Pittsburgh, but the further you go into the playoffs, that house money effect goes away. especially in Buffalo and Philly.
I ain't trying to put you on the spot, Maddie, but if you had to, we're gonna pick a segment from Unapologetic. If you had to pick somebody that's flying high in the playoffs and somebody's in the deep freeze, or somebody not quite performing the way you would expected them to, who would those two players be?
Flying high would probably be Kirill Kaprizov for Minnesota. He's got 9 points. I mean, he's just been amazing for Minnesota. The reason why they are close to winning this series. For the player side of it, goalie side, it's Frederick Anderson for Carolina, because a lot of questions about Carolina coming into this playoffs and how the goaltending would be. He's got a 1.10 goals against average and a 955 save percentage. So those are definitely the two that are flying high. If I had to say who was in the deep freezer, Brady Tkachuk from Ottawa, who won pointless in the 4 games against Carolina, and probably Stuart Skinner in goal, who just was not good enough for Pittsburgh. Those would be the two that would definitely have been in the deep freeze.
Okay.
All right. And Anthony said, the reason why that is because the standard is not in the playoffs this year with the Panthers.
Yeah.
At Bossman, KG, and Midnight.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, Florida hit. It's hard. Like you're playing all these extra games, and they did it for 3 straight years. So and then you add in the injuries this year. Like it's just hard to constantly go deep in the NHL playoffs, because the NHL playoffs are a grind. I mean, you've got to win 16 additional games. That doesn't even count whatever games you lose along the way, right? So you're playing almost a month to 6 weeks worth more hockey than everybody else does. And Florida's done it for 3 straight years. I thought we were kind of seeing that with Edmonton in this first round too, where they just looked like they kind of maybe the tank has hit empty, but then they came out of the gate really well. So we'll see what they look like tonight. But it happens. I wouldn't be surprised Florida's back in it next year. I mean, they got to get Bob re-signed, and Bob was not Bob this year, but I think some of that is he was tired too. The problem for Florida is they don't have another goalie really in their system that's NHL ready. So they really have no choice but to pay Bob, because they don't pay Bob. There's not really that much out there free agency wise, goaltender wise for next year that would be at the same level that Bob is when he's at his game.
All right. Appreciate you, Maddie.
Anytime.
I guess we got to keep an eye on these games, but that late game, I don't have to get up super early in the morning, so I'll probably be able to peek in on that late game in between episodes of Frasier, so I should be all right.
Yeah, it's a 10 o'clock start tonight. It's a little bit earlier. It's not the 10:30 that they have been pulling off, because now there's only 2. Because I will give them this too. They've been doing a really good job of trying to, as best as they can, get these games where you've got one game starting and ending, and then the next game starting. So they've been really trying to do that. So now that you only got most of these, you're down to 2 games a night. You can do a 7 o'clock and a 10 o'clock start, and if they end in regulation, not worry about it. Not worry about them running into each other quite as easily. So a little earlier start tonight at 10 o'clock for the West Coast game.
And a quick question from Coach Powell. He said, what's the key to the Caps getting back on track?
Well, I mean, they're really they're right there as far as the playoff team goes. I mean, obviously the big thing is going to be Ovi. Does Ovi come back, right? Which is, it sounds like he is. I think that's the number one thing. They've got cap space. The free agency this year is not really that strong, but they have 2 things. They have cap space and they have draft capital, because they've got some picks this year coming up. So the Caps are going to be able to make a trade for somebody that's maybe tied up against the cap and add some talent that way, because they need another top 6 forward. The D is there. The goaltending's there. They need somebody to go alongside Ovi to help Ovi that they really didn't have this year. But, like we talked about on Drive Time, like if the NHL does the 3-2-1 system where you reward a team that wins in regulation as opposed to these teams that are winning games in overtime shootout, the Capitals would have been in this year and Philly's out. That's how tight it was in the Metro. It's just Philly, both teams got 2 points for a win, and so that didn't really matter, But if they would have done regulation points, Washington's in, Philly's out. So, that's how tight the Metro was this year after Carolina. So they're not that far off at all. I think they need to add one more forward and leave everything else be, and let the young kids have another year under their belt. And they've got some good young players too. So Leonard made good strides this year. They've got Hudson, who looked really good in his 10 to 15 games he played this year, and Logan Thompson's back in goal. So and Churin has turned out to be a stud defenseman. So they got what they need. They just need one more.
I think health is also the key. I think having Pierre-Luc Dubois not play early on in the season, not playing until after the All-Star break. I mean, you're not playing until after the Olympic break. I think that hurt as well. Depending on what you get from Ovi, if he comes back or not, and then how you replace that. And I agree with you on the because of the salary cap bump, you don't have as many free agents that you normally would have. So, yeah, I think the free agent class is terrible.
Yeah, what was looking like, remember we talked about at the beginning of this hockey season that the potential of this free agent class was going to be through the roof. They all signed long-term deals this year. So now you're talking about a lot of third and fourth line guys that are just, some key, some piece guys. There's not really anybody that is going to be a top 6 forward out there that's a free agent. Now, there will be on the trade market. You're going to see some teams making some trades. So that's where I think the Caps can go find somebody for one of these teams that are still tight against the cap. And pull somebody off of that team.
Thanks, Matty.
Yep. Anytime, guys.
Appreciate it, Matty.
Thank you,
All right.
Matty.
Yep. You guys have a good rest of the show. I'm going to go paint some walls.
I have fun doing that.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than Matty Ice, host of Drive Time with Scooter and Showtime Sarah, seen here on Mondays at 5 p.m. on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Perry checking in, giving us an update on the NBA right now. He started off just an update, Knicks 58, Hawks 19. Second quarter, my bad, 60-19. 72-22.
Goodness gracious.
Now, I'm going to say something real quick. That's how you administer an ass whooping early. That's what that is. That's a great administering of an ass whooping. Man, you guys want to take a break, reset, see if we can get Coach Devon in here?
I mean, sure. I mean, what you pulling out commercial wise? I mean, we already stretched the budget.
Oh man, we got commercials, baby. We got commercials. I got commercials for days up in this piece.
Here comes another WrestleManiacs.
I mean, you ain't gotta be like that, but yeah. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Man, I could just hear the money going down the drain.
I think that's an old one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look, we got to pay for airtime, man. Airtime, makeup, hair, all that good stuff.
Oh, man. So,
we got to order extra wife beaters. We got to order suits and ties now. We got to do the whole, we growing up here.
Yeah. Hey, think about it like this. We ain't had this type of money in 2017.
No, we had no money.
No, none.
Yeah. And the production side saw that too.
Yeah. Shoot. Remember we used to have guys in the truck and we used to cut in and out. If you didn't pay the guys in the truck, jeez. Well, while we wait on Coach, I guess we can go ahead and there you go. There you go.
Right on time.
Right on time. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, host of Pretenders or Contenders, seen here every Monday right after drive time at 7 p.m. Coach Devon, welcome, Coach.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
What's going on,
Not
Coach?
much, sir.
Hey,
Maddie
man, it's
played
another day.
Smoking Al Coken, so now you're going to play Smoking Joe McKay, and we're going to talk a little Kentucky Derby.
Hey, man, was that some of the best segments when John used to have him on the show, man?
Man, from talking about the horses to talking about whatever food he brung,
Right, exactly, exactly.
he was a cooking dude, man.
Yeah, man, I missed the John Thompson show, man. That was my show there.
Yes, sir.
That was my show.
Coach,
What's going on, fellas?
you man, the way you broke down this Kentucky Derby, like I saw another side, and I'm like, damn, okay. uh,
Hey, man, like I said, man, I thought you was trying to get some betting tips in, man. I ain't even know you was talking about me joining the show, but hey,
man,
you
see,
here.
the thing is, when it comes to betting, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and he can go ahead and pat himself on the back now. Midnight Rider is my betting guru. He tell me now, you don't bet on this, you don't bet on that. You can shake your head all you want, but you done saved me a ton of money, so don't start.
Yeah, how you just tossed me to the side because I used to be your betting guru. You just tossed me.
Oh shit!
I ain't your Huckleberry no more, huh? You got Midnight Rider. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Oh man!
Oh shoot! Hey, look, before I dig my grave any deeper, Coach, give me the Kentucky Derby preview, please.
Hey man, so there's one thing that I love almost just as much as football, man, and that's horse racing. I've been, I came out the womb, and my father probably had me at the track the week I got out the hospital, knowing him. So, spent a lot of time at the racetrack. Haven't been in a while because it's real easy when you can just sit home and bet from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
But this the most exciting part of the year for horse racing, man. The Triple Crown is what it's all about for the 3-year-old. So exciting. It's even more exciting that we actually got the Preakness in law this year. Um, they're trying to hit people across the head for tickets, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But
What the tickets looking like right now?
man, they looking at like 3 something starting off.
Okay.
And if I'm gonna spend $300 on the ticket, man, I'm going to see Duke. I ain't going to see the horses.
I understand that one.
But yeah, man, this is we're looking at a deep field right now for the Derby. I think it's about 24 horses. I don't think they've scratched anybody yet. Um, there's about 24 horses, man. So that's when you got to pull out that second starting gate,
Right.
and that plays a big part into what happens on race day. The Derby's not always about the best horse winning. Um, you got to have that combination of a stud horse, a great jockey, and the luck of the draw. Because when that gate opens up, well, when both of those gates open up and them horses get to bouncing around, boy, that could kill a horse right away. That can change the whole momentum of the race. So with a big, large field like this, it's going to be important for somebody they got to get a clean break. Um, and horses can be temperamental. So,
Yep.
some horses don't like to be in crowded spaces. So that's going to play a part, man. And I think the weather's going to be decent, not too bad this week down in Kentucky. Um, I never look at the weather down there until the morning of the race because I'm superstitious, so I might jinx myself. But from what I hear, it's supposed to be decent down there, so we'll see. We'll see. As far as who I like, I told you guys yesterday, man. I think the one Renegade is probably. I think he's probably the best horse in the race. Um, and And like I said yesterday, the only thing I don't like about it is he's gonna be on the rail. He's coming
Mm,
off the rail, and when you got all those horses trying to squeeze down after breaking out that gate, it's easy for that one hole to get squeezed in and have to fight out of there. And if you don't know anything about horse racing, usually the track is a little bit deeper on that inside, so he might have to face that if he doesn't get a clean break. If he gets a clean break and shoots out of there, I don't know if anybody will catch him. So we'll see. He likes to come off the pace a little bit. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. It's all like I said. It's all about that break. Another horse I like is the six horse Commandment. Um, but just like any of these horses in this race, he's gonna have to get a great break. Um, he just won the Florida Derby a few weeks ago, which is one of the Derby prep races, and he rallied down. He was sitting at fifth, and then he once they came around the turn, he was sitting at fourth spot, and then he just picked up his gears, and he was able to walk him down the stretch and win it by a nose. So I think that horse will be there. Um, the other horse I like was the 12 horse Chief Wallaby. Um, now he's been he hasn't put together a great race yet, but the potential is there for him. I think he has great closing speed. Um, and he was third in the Florida Derby, but he was closing as well. So he could have easily, they had another eighth of a mile to go, he might have won the race. So, the Derby's a little bit longer, it's a mile and a quarter. Florida Derby is like a mile and an eighth, I think it was, something like that. So that's a horse to watch out. And like I said, he's in the 12th spot, so he'll be in that first gate in the middle. So if you know horse racing, when they put the two gates together, of course there's a little space in between the first gate and the second gate. So there's potential to get a clean break out of there. If he if a jockey gets him out of there quick. Um, then I gave you guys the eight horse. So happy. Um, Pre-Derby this week. He was listed at 15-1.
yep.
I'm sure he'll probably come down slightly. Usually, a lot of these horses get bet down on the day of the Derby, um, depending on conditions and how the track is running. All depends, but they usually come down a little bit. But if he stays at 15-1, I mean, I would tell anybody. I mean, you ain't got to put that much money on him, but at least put $5 on him because 15-1 is a good price. Um, he's like I said, it's a good money bet. I think that he has the strength to overcome being pushed around a little bit coming out the gate. So that's a name to look out for. So happy. And who else did I give you guys? I liked let's see, who was it? The 13, Silent Tactic. Now this is a horse that has run 6 races lifetime, won 2, and finished second 4 times. So he's always around you know, the front, and it's coming in that 6 hole where I think that, and I've been saying this, I keep repeating myself, a clean break. But even if he gets a little jumbled up coming out that 6 hole, I think that's a good spot for him where he won't get stuck in traffic. So that's another horse to look out for. And if he doesn't win, I mean, like I said, he hasn't finished worse than second. You might want to put him in an exacta. Um, if I'm giving you my betting ticket right now, and this could change, I would probably go $5 win, place, and show on the 12, $5 win, place, and show on the 1, and then I'll do an exacta box with the 1, 12, and 6. So
Mhm.
take it there. If y'all hit anything, I'll send you my cash app so you can send me a couple of dollars and let me know.
You don't believe in Quinillas, coach?
uh, I do, but I usually stick to exactas and trifectas.
Okay.
I don't play a lot of exotic stuff. You know,
Then
I like to bet on horses, but I don't like to lose money. So
I got you. All right. Question 2 for you. Is there a jockey that if he's riding on the horse that people need to keep an eye on because maybe he can wheel that horse or put that horse in a better position than the horse's ability?
you know, this year so far, and I can admit I haven't been on top of my game like I usually am, but this has been a good year as far as some of these younger guys that are getting into the game are starting to step up. You got Ortiz that's riding the one. He's been having a great year.
Okay.
Um, who else? Let me see another name y'all could look out for. You know, a lot of the older guys are gone.
Yep. That's why I asked you that question.
Castellano, yeah, Castellano, who's riding the 9 horse, the Puma.
Okay.
He's a pretty good jockey and been having a good year as well. Um, yeah, Jose Alvarado on Chief Wallaby. He's one of the top in the game right now. So those are a couple of names. You know, like I said, a lot of the older guys are gone. So these younger guys are coming through right now, stepping up. Yeah, that's all I got off the top of my head.
All right. And then my last question for you: if you own a horse, I know the places have been put out so far. If you had the horse, where would you want your horse? What spot would you want them in? Would you want them at 12? You want them at 13?
So, like I was saying when I was talking about the horses earlier, I would like to have them near the midpoint of both of those gates.
Okay.
Like I said, because you got a little space in between gate 1 and gate 2,
Right.
so you know it's not as bunched up. You got the opportunity to get out of the gate quick, um, and get settled out of that traffic. So I would pick around there, like the last 2 of the first gate and the first 2 holes of the second gate.
Okay. And then is there a horse that's a late charger? Somebody that we gotta look out for that likes to make a run late?
You know, there's a couple, but you know, I keep saying it's like a broken record. You know, so all depends on the break. But some of these long shots, man. Great White, who's you know, he might be eligible for the race. He's the 21st horse in it right now.
Okay.
Um, Full Effort, who has that 20 spot right now. Um, he likes to get to the front, so he'll probably shoot out to the front. Um, who else is one of your closers in this race? What's the Japanese horse? Hold on a second. Wonder Dean, the 10 horse.
Okay.
Listed as 30 to 1 right now. Um, only been in races across seas. You know, he was in the UAE Derby, the Saudi Derby. And you know, those horses that come across seas, they usually struggle in the Derby, but you know, he has nice closing speed, so he could be something to look out for.
Okay.
Well, my question for you here, coach, is looking into 2 weeks from Saturday. It's the Preakness, and it's coming close to home. It's going to be at the Laurel Track instead of
Hmm.
Pimlico because they are remodeling Pimlico.
Hmm.
Uh, are you going to be in the house?
See, he ain't catch me early when I said them
Yeah.
ticket prices is too much.
Okay, I
Yeah,
missed that.
he's saving up for he's saving up for Duke game. He ain't
Yeah,
gonna
if I'm gonna spend that money, man, I'm going to see Duke. I ain't paying that much money to go see the ponies, man. I can sit in my living room and check that out. So
Well, question from Maddie: if you were to go, what's your derby hat? You got a derby hat?
I ain't into all that.
Come on, coach. You gotta do it. You gotta have a Spartan helmet coming that joint.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
no special hat.
if things can work out the way that I'm hoping, because I've done some work up at Pimlico, and I know they're supposed to be back next year.
Mm-hmm.
If I can finagle my way into some tickets at Pimlico next year, make sure I keep you in mind.
My man, see, I knew I liked you for some reason, man. Outside of that Notre Dame stuff you got going on,
See,
I knew it was a reason I liked you, man.
it's the first
Coach,
time
got,
we've been in the
got the
same
break,
place
Coach.
since that scandal broke.
Yeah. I
Got
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have it at Lowell another year.
yep.
Um, if the construction and stuff gets pushed back a little bit, they might just decide to have it at Lowell. When they a few weeks ago when they announced, well, it's probably been like 2 months now, that they announced that they wasn't going to tear down Lowell. I think that was a big plus. Because Lowell's a great track, man. I hate for them to not have races there no more. But the racing industry's been hit so bad in this state and across the country that the money is just not there like it used to be. So, but I'm glad they're gonna keep it open as a training track. So, I'm holding on hope that they're not gonna close it down completely.
Hope not.
Yeah, I heard
Hmm.
something this morning. I'm talking about, I guess, at some of the smaller tracks, they've been having like these bots or these syndicates like betting the money down so people don't win. Like even though when you buy your ticket it's 14-1, but by the time you get to the race starting, the odds have changed drastically because of the syndicate and the amount of money they put into the race.
Man, you know what? As much as I love horse racing is one of the most dirtiest sports out there. Um, a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes, man. So I didn't hear that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think one of the tracks they mentioned was Saratoga. Forgot the other one. Um, I think that's all I got for you. So if anybody else got anything,
Well, my only thing I got is if you free Sunday, coach, you come back and we go over the race and see what we got. Check the results. We
Yeah.
find out if we go on to 7-Eleven or we go on to Sizzler.
Hey man, a Sizzler sound better than 7-Eleven. That's all I can
Oh yeah.
say. Sizzler sound a whole lot better, man. I'm gonna try to win some decent money, man. My wife like to travel a lot, so she done got vacations booked out to 2000 forever.
Good grief.
And she's probably over there rolling her eyes at me, but that's all right. So I got to win some money.
what I
Well,
tell my
I mean,
friends, I said, Miss Mabel got to give me some titty money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
if you put down this bet and you win big, forget Sizzler, man. We going to Ponderosa.
Man,
That's what we
Ponderosa.
going.
You can have that. You can have Ponderosa. I'm going to goddamn G&M. I'm going to get me a good crab cake.
There you go, coach.
Hmm.
If that place was seated better, oh man,
Yeah,
that's
that's all
all.
right. I ain't got to sit there. Take it to go.
Take it to
I know
go,
that's right.
Take it to go.
man.
You come
Appreciate
on
you coming
Sunday,
in,
coach.
coach. Go
Nah,
ahead.
here we go. Hold on, KG. I got one for him. So,
Hmm.
so, coach, you come on Sunday. You do your horse races, right?
Hmm.
And you give me your top 5 crab cakes in the area.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Do that.
We do that
Talking
Sunday.
crab cakes on Sunday.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Hey man, you know this mind always working, baby.
Yes,
Let me
indeed.
let me go ahead and write that down because I don't want you to forget that.
Man, that's the hardest working man in podcast land. He ain't forgetting that. He's
Hey,
catching
man,
45 shows a week on 27 different networks.
welcome to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, where you can get NFL, NHL updates. You watch the Knicks and the Hawks fight, get updates on that, and we give you our best crab cakes. Where
Best
else you
crab
gonna do
cake.
that? Where
Yep.
you gonna do that at?
Yep.
Yeah. But
Hey man, BJ man, we got to get you on the show.
Oh yeah.
We got to get the man behind the scenes. You and KG. We got to get y'all on the show, man.
We work something out. Yeah,
Most
that'll
definitely.
work. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I'm always floating around somewhere.
That sound like trouble.
I'm always floating around somewhere.
Sound like trouble.
You know. So, nah, for sure though. We'll figure that out.
All right.
So,
All right. Appreciate your time, Coach. We will check back in with you on Sunday. See we all can win some money. So
Exactly. Like I said, I'll share my cash app with y'all so y'all can send me my tip if y'all hit. You know that guy, that Notre Dame guy though, he might lie and say he ain't win nothing. So
hey, look.
I don't believe him.
catch
He'd be
a
like,
stray,
I tried to make a bet, but it wouldn't go through.
Oh,
God damn.
oh,
He didn't count the money in his hand.
blooded.
Like, hey man, I don't know what happened, right? But that bet ain't go through.
Cold-blooded.
Oh man. All right, fellas, man. Y'all have a good rest of the show.
All right,
right,
man.
Coach,
You
thank you.
Coach.
All right now.
Eh?
Now we can do this one of two ways, gents. We can take another break and then come back and finish it off, or we can just go ahead and power through it.
Hit the comments real quick. Take a little 15-second joint.
All right. Comments. Come on. Uh-oh.
We should be at Mitch almost got into a fight with Dyson Daniels.
Yep, I got that. That's what Perry said. And he said Mitchell Robinson and Dyson Daniels tossed from the game. Good grief.
Well, shit, Dyson Daniels don't want to sit in that game. They down 72-22.
Yeah, you might as well do something.
Shoot, he might as well go ahead and go take a shower and go home.
Maddie said Showtime's like so happy.
Yes, I saw that in the comments.
And Maddie said my wife, Coach, my wife goes 5 years out for vacation too. Good grief.
It's like the Olympics. Good God Almighty.
Now, look,
but I love it. We seen some cool shit.
But if you're gonna plan, you got to plan ahead because you probably can get a good price now versus doing it at the last second and risking the flight being sold out or not enough seats, whatever the case is. Like you probably could get a really good deal planning ahead. It's just not something I'm good at doing. I need to do like the wife come out here and be like, hey, I want to go to Puerto Rico like next week.
Oh,
I was waiting for something there. Wake up! Like, nah, but I want to go to Puerto Rico next week. I'm like, okay, let's figure this out. Man, I'm a last second guy. I'm home alone, running through the airport, trying to get to the flight. That's what I am.
As a single man, I don't plan vacations with women 5 years out because I don't know if they're gonna be around. So
yeah, that too. That's true.
Understand.
Hey.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break, 15-second, not WrestleManiac related, and we'll be right back.
Okay, we'll see. Yo, I'm starting to notice some of these breaks. All these breaks are self-promotions for people. Because when I do breaks, I did like all three of the breaks of the songs and videos I did on Sunday. Today is always WrestleManiacs. I think we gotta get an independent subject in and take care of the breaks and what gets played.
It's not done on purpose. I swear it's not.
Well, I'm gonna come to his defense. To his defense, technically, WrestleManiacs Saturday night.
It's the next show.
Yeah, it's the next show. I'm gonna give him a little bit. Get him off the hot seat a little bit.
But yeah, but that makes it either the first break or the last break.
True indeed. Look,
Bill Cosby do.
All right, we jump in this thing. NBA playoffs. We got games going on now. You got games on your phone. The Knicks are up 83-36 over the Hawks at halftime. Knicks can close this out if they keep on. 76ers.
I'm telling you right now, I have a 58-point run or 58-point comeback. I'm cutting everybody off. I'm not even watching. I'm not watching the rest of the rest of the playoffs. I'm good. Somebody come down 58. Nah, dog. Hey, you shouldn't even be down 58. I don't know how that math be mathing, but
an elimination game.
Yeah,
I don't even get how you come out that flat in an elimination game.
Must be a whole lot of golf clubs and trunks and suitcases because they could get a better price on Cancun starting tomorrow than next week.
Or the Magic City Wings went bad on them, and they stomach hurting, something wrong.
I think ESPN needs to say it officially. The Iron Unkind.
Nah, that's more than that. That iron being downright disrespectful. My bad, KG. I wasn't to say you take a swing.
Almost choked there, but I'm okay. The 76ers up 20-19 over the Celtics with about a minute and 45 to go in the first quarter. Celtics could close this out tonight. The Nuggets and Timberwolves are at 9:30 tonight. Minnesota leads that series 3-2. They can close out tonight. Last night, the Rockets 99, the Lakers 93. The Rockets beat the Lakers sans Kevin Durant.
I got a question for our resident Laker extraordinaire. If the Lakers win this series, are they getting Luka and Austin Reeves back next series?
So Reeves came back last night, and you could tell they were just off a little bit. I thought they should have waited another game before they brought back Reeves because it just looked like the offense looked out of sync. Something else crazy happened. I think DeAndre Ayton actually had 17 rebounds. So I don't know if like the earth was off its axis or what.
Well, he's done. He's done for the rest of the playoffs, right?
Stop playing.
No, I'm talking about with the 17 rebounds. That's
okay. Yeah.
That's his production for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah. He's good. He coasting the rest of the way. So no, I think Reeves comes back. I think Luka can possibly come back early in the next playoff series. The problem is they play OKC, and I don't know what answers we got for OKC. They like slim and numb.
Let me say something, and this is going to prove a real valid point. And I'm not trying to look into the future because the Lakers still got to win tomorrow night. If the Lakers win tomorrow night and they face OKC.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of fouls that SGA gets is going to be, I'm not even going to say half. It's going to be lower than what he normally gets. Dort is not going to play as dirty because I don't know. I see something brewing, and the Lakers been kind of quiet. You know, they've been in that. They stayed in that 4 seed. You know, quietly all year. They were kind of middle of the pack. Huh?
We was at 2 for a stretch.
Really? I didn't see him get that high. I think the highest I saw him get was maybe hover around 3.
Now we got the 2, and San Antonio made their crazy run, and then we started hitting that 3, and then once everybody got hurt, we fell back to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I say that because you going against LBJ, you going against the king, and that Omar from the Y said it best. When you shoot at the king, you bet not miss. I don't have OKC beating the Lakers.
Huh?
I don't have OKC beating the Lakers. Yeah, I said it.
Hold on. Now, I said that. That's different. You're saying you don't have OKC beating the Lakers. Okay.
It's April 30th, 8:40. You say what?
You put money on that?
You need
to put money on that?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, you need to put some money on that.
You need to go. Yeah, you better get FanDuel,
Like a check,
DraftKings,
not $5. Not
That's
$5. You need a whole check. Put a whole check on that.
I wouldn't do that.
No,
Well, I ain't going that far.
I put a whole check on that.
I'd put 10 on it at least.
Nah,
depending on what that plus minus is, what that plus is.
That's $100 bet, right? At least that's $100.
Wow. Shit. I'm just saying.
You trying to go to Cancun without?
Yes. Yes.
Oh shit.
Nah, I'm just trying to get the Sizzler, dog. Maybe Outback.
Now I do have a question of the night that's pertaining to playoffs, but let me get to these last two games. Playoffs. The Cavaliers. Yesterday the Cavaliers beat the Raptors 125-120. They took a lead 3-2 in the series. The Pistons 116-109 over the Magic yesterday, and they closed the gap. Orlando leads that series 3-2. You got Pistons Magic tomorrow, Cavaliers Raptors tomorrow, Lakers Rockets tomorrow. These are all game sixes and possible closeouts. So
I think last night we need to give some love to Cade Cunningham and Pablo Banchero, the two first-round picks playing each other. They put on the show last night. I think they had 44 and 45 points respectively. When we talk about wanting these kids to battle and to take charge and win the night, I mean, I think this is what we asked for and we got it. I think that was huge last night.
No, I agree with you 100%. That's what you want to see. If you want to somebody like me that you have a hard time tuning into these games over the course of the last couple of years, and you see that, that's good. I like that will, that battle.
Mm-hmm. And I think last night, I don't know if anybody got the box score, but I think Evan Mobley gave him 23 points last night in the Cleveland game. I think, to be honest with you, I know I listened to the radio yesterday morning in Cleveland, and they was calling him and Jared Allen all kinds of soft and not being able to step up to the moment. And I know at one point in the third quarter, Mobley went up to the dunking on somebody. The guy fouled him before he got going, but the look in his eye, it looked like he was saying, bleep these reporters, bleep the morning show, bleep the midday show, bleep the afternoon show. Like it looked personal. Like whatever he was about to do on that dunk looked very personal. And I think he ended up with 23 points and double-digit rebounds. He didn't get double-digit rebounds?
Nah, he had 9. He was close to that double-double.
Yeah. But that looked like a man possessed yesterday.
Question of the night, gentlemen. And it dawned on me because BJ said something about a particular player. I don't think I want to name him here. Not just yet, at least. About how this particular player, when you're on the verge of elimination, they don't, nobody pushes through anymore. Like if you don't have a torn Achilles, a torn rotator cuff, a torn ACL, you got a sprained ankle, and it's like guys don't push through anymore. When a player sits out of an elimination game, does that ruin their legacy? If you remember, I want to say that was 5 years ago, Chris Paul and the Rockets, they had Golden State dead to rights. And he was like, oh, my hamstring's so bad I can't play. And they went 0 for 26 from 3-point. And wound up in game 7, letting the Warriors walk out of that building with a series win. KD didn't play last night, which was an elimination game, but they still staved off elimination for another game. Does that ruin a player's legacy, in your honest opinion? Thanks for taking my call. I'll hang up and listen.
I think it's just that, look, we're not doctors, and it's, sit here to question the players' injuries and but like you said, KG, like certain injuries, like playoff time, especially if you have a team that is supposed to compete for a championship. I mean, of course, if you break your ankle or leg or something, you can't do anything, and then you don't know the severity. So it's like I want to be careful what I say here, but I think it depends on the situation, the player, the injury. Let's just say that. It really does. It really depends. It's a package deal. Um, does this player have a history of doing this in big games disappearing? Are they trying to avoid something? What is it? What's this player's history? Or have they failed in multiple destinations? And, maybe it's one of them things that, I got an excuse now. I can just be hurt. Touchy subject.
I worry about it because I always said, like, when the Clippers were involved, and this was the Lob City clip, I said I never worried about them after the second round because at some point Chris Paul gonna pull a hamstring, tear a quad, or pull his groin, and they're gonna be down in point guard. And I never understood why they didn't have a quality backup point guard behind Chris Paul because of that reason. Like, if I see it, somebody else in the building got to see it. Like, we got to bring somebody in. So if Chris Paul just ain't right, we can still run through this offense and get things going. I mean, I know KD's been struggling with the knee, with the ankle, and all that stuff. Does it hurt his legacy? I don't think so, because I think he's already damaged his legacy because everything post Golden State has failed, and it's failed badly. So I don't even know if he can do any more damage to his legacy because I think he's already done it, if that makes sense.
Now it makes perfect sense. That's very well said.
Thank you.
Very well said. I mean, it's just like it's like dropping a plate of china and then you gluing it back together. It's broken.
Yeah.
You could probably still eat off of it if you do the right things to put it, but it's still broken. It's still
right.
It's all damage is done. So
let me choose my words carefully. I question, and most people say, well, how can you question a player's heart? Because I've been watching the game of basketball. I've been watching the game of football. I've been watching basketball for 36 years.
Oh,
37.
Oh, bastard.
That's fine. I've been watching the game of basketball for 37 years.
Oh, bastard.
Faithfully. I've been watching the game of football for well over 40.
Oh, bastard.
And I never questioned Isaiah Thomas when he sprained his ankle against the Lakers. He went on one of the greatest runs. And he talked about that on Open Court. He talked about it when him and Magic Johnson sat down. And did it hurt? Yes. Did he want to play the next game? Yes. But his ankle had swelled so much he couldn't play. Once you sprain your ankle, once you take the shoe off, it's done. So you got to leave that shoe on. Keep the swelling down. But that's hard because you knew you had to stave off elimination. You did what you had to do to stave off elimination. It's been guys, what was that? When Scottie Pippen hurt his back in 96 and he re-injured his back again against the Bullets in the first round. After that game winning dunk and he fell on his back. He got the shots from cortisone to Throwdown.
Back on that Throwdown, baby. Let me tell you now, that Throwdown, boy. Oh no. Throwdown make you feel good.
Yeah, it do.
Well, what Holly Berry say in Monsters Ball?
Make me feel good. But this is what I'm talking about. If you're trying to stave off elimination, you're trying to stay alive. This ain't game 1 or game 2. This is game 5. You're not trying to get a gentleman's sweep. You're trying to stave off elimination, and you do not come out there. I kind of look at you sideways. Now, does it hurt the legacy? I think that whole hamstring thing with Chris Paul in Houston, I said it then and I'll say it now. I was like, don't ever mention him as top 5 point guard ever again. Don't mention him in the top 10. What has he done? Don't. When it comes to Kevin Durant, I don't know what's going on with KD. KD is one of the most nastiest scorers that has ever graced the game of basketball. He is an anomaly, and he is, I think, talented is an understatement to him. That's disrespectful if I called him talented, because he's more than talented. I just don't know, like a game like last night against the Lakers, they say he got a bone bruise. And I'm like, could you push through to keep him? Because they kind of sort of need you. They didn't need you last night, but they kind of sort of need you. So I kind of look at him sideways. But on the other hand, when he was in Golden State and they were playing Toronto, they forced him, they kind of pressured him to come back. And what happened? He ruptured his Achilles. And we sat here and we talked about that. I don't know if you remember it. That's when the whole sprains, strains, and tears came in. And before that game, I said he needs to sit out because I don't think this is a calf strain. I think this is more Achilles strain. He needs to sit out. And in that night, after we got off the show, you, Delonte, Junie, Jim, and myself were in the chat talking. And we saw it live. And I said, that's an Achilles. He's done. This series is over. So I get his trepidation and not playing because of that. I sometimes when it's not that, these guys just they load management. I don't feel like playing today. You get to play a kid's game for a king's ransom. I don't get paid as much as you, but I get up every day, pain and all, sick and all. I'm gonna go get the job done. I'm gonna go make it do what it do, baby. Only difference is my family's depending on me. The city's depending on you. So that's just my thing.
What you got next, man?
Good point. Good point. Cheerio.
Oh, well. Time to wrap that shit up, B. Let's get on up out of here.
God dang. That comment went to 3 different joints?
Damn, I missed the comments. Let's grab some comments.
Hey, grab some comments and then we wrap it up and get up out of here.
Should we rate about? I think we should be about right here.
Right, next one.
Okay.
Coach Powell said, man, that's where I want to go. Puerto Rico!
Go!
God,
Oh,
they don't even know what's going on.
He said, man, I did the break one day and I completely forgot about him.
I know, Coach.
Yeah, I think he did one. Nah, but you know what? It's not his fault. It ain't his fault because he don't have any of the breaks loaded up.
Ah.
Yeah.
Not a
So
problem. I found out how to take care of that today.
Yeah, so that's what his issue is. The studio only has, because one day I looked, because I was going to take us to break, and I was like, oh, I ain't got nothing here to break with. So, yeah, you got to hook him up with some stuff.
We got you, Coach. We got you.
Maddie said Wyatt Johnson scores for Dallas, tied puck game at 1.
There we go.
Trepidation. Great word. SAT word for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Trepidation.
I'm surprised the Out of Bounds podcast hasn't chimed in, but we'll leave that for another.
Oh my gosh, the Out of Bounds podcast would have probably put that as like the greatest word use ever. Oh my God, I can't believe he said trepidation.
Have you guys ever seen the 62 MVP race? You know, we got everything from there.
Hey, that even made. Oh, that's the next one. So that's next on the Midnight Rider and Jaden 5 Rider. Yeah, that's the next one, that comic strip.
Who is this?
Oh my God.
Who is this?
So you saw the one. You saw you made the list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made the list.
We're gonna have some fun this year, man. Since I haven't been writing, I gotta do something.
Look like we already having fun. It's about to be May, so we got the rest of the year to go.
Yes, sir.
Well,
we got them
final
dog
thoughts,
days.
gentlemen, before we get out of here.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, maybe he's the Joe Hendry of the show. Say his name and he appears. KG is the best. KG number one. Okay. What? Wrap it up. What do I have? We talk Nats. Nasim Nunez. Nasim Nunez right now leads Major League Baseball in stolen bases with, I think he's at 13. May have gotten another one today. You've heard me say his name last year because I thought he was their best defensive player. I thought he should have been playing shortstop, but they don't want to put him at short. His only issue is he doesn't have a great bat, so he's not a big hitter. He's probably going to hit around 220, 230. But when he's on base, he's going from first to second or first to third by stealing bases. He's got 13 as we speak. So keep an eye on him because if he can keep getting on base by hook or crook, he could possibly lead the major leagues in stolen bases.
If you say lead the league in stolen bases, what would be a number you looking at?
For him, his pace, I'd say 75 to 80. But I know what would happen is if he's still alive, Ricky would call him and say only 80 bases. Ricky would have had 80 by the All-Star break.
Hang up the phone.
I felt like that's where you would lead me to.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's exactly what I was leading you to. Oh, God.
I keep telling people we've done this too long.
Oh, my God. Ooh,
sorry, BJ. My bad.
Nah, y'all good, man.
Ooh, what you got, B?
I ain't got nothing, man. I gotta get I guess I gotta make a video or something. Talk to updated Bills roster, depth chart as of now.
That's what we're supposed to do.
It's all good. We'll get to it maybe closer to the season.
Oh,
so it's no rush.
Why don't you do the Bills whole for the draft and we'll play it Sunday? But what you should do, since you got all this music now, is probably change the Boss Man Says video to something different.
I'll work on something. You look, you know how it is with the AI. You gotta fight with the AI. So sometimes, boy, whoo.
That's why I forgot who put me on the cap cuts. But cap cuts make it easy for you, bro.
Yeah. So now I'm working on stuff, man. I don't think we're gonna have a new Sunday rise by Sunday, but we're working on some things.
Well, I'm trying to. We're gonna definitely have one leading up to the NFL season. I got some things in the cooker. So
you gotta remember plug your slow cooker in though. So
okay. I'm gonna let you add that.
But nah, I ain't got nothing else, man.
Only thing I got is make sure you tune in. Matter of fact, don't even just tune in. Go over to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, even Twitch if you want to watch some gaming, Twitter, and make sure you check in with us. What do they need to do, Meatloaf?
Like with YouTube. Subscribe and like with YouTube. Subscribe and like with YouTube. Subscribe and like with YouTube.
Subscribe and like with YouTube.
Subscribe and like with YouTube.
YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook. We got a 24/7 group On Facebook, we talk back and forth. And holler at us. We everywhere. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, notifications, turn them on. So you look, we got shows every day except Friday. And we looking to add things in the near future. So stay tuned, man. We always cooking some things up.
Yes, indeed. So for the Midnight Rider, the boss BJ, I'm the big guy KG. Big shout out to Matty Ice for talking NHL playoffs with us. The coach, Coach Devon, coming in and talking Kentucky Derby with us. You can hear both of those gentlemen on Monday. Matty Ice, Showtime Sir, and Scooter on Drive Time at 5. Coach Devon on Pretenders and Contenders at 7 with this gentleman sitting right here in the bottom box, the Midnight Rider, right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. So until next time, we are out of here.